Good evening, welcome to the Haldimand County Caledonia Center. I'm John Molson. Tonight, the 7-0 first place Caledonia Corvairs host the 3-2 sixth place Niagara Falls Canucks. The Corvairs will try to remain unbeaten tonight as they squeaked out a 1-0 win in Port Colborne last night.
Tonight, your Corvairs are taking on the Niagara Falls Canucks. Please stand, move your hats for the flag. Go Canada.
So the Corvairs have won 7 straight, looking for their 8th consecutive win to start the season here tonight. The Corvairs squeaking out a 1-0 win last night. The Niagara Falls Canucks will look to get back into the win column tonight after an 8-5 loss to Port Colborne yesterday. Tonight's starting goaltenders for the Niagara Falls Canucks, number 37, Hunter Johnson. He's played in 2 games, registering a 1-loss record of 1-0. As the Corvairs win the opening draw, Kyler Nixon back for Caledonia to retrieve the puck on the near side. Travers doing battle in the center slot. Murphy looking for the puck. Travers still trying to grab possession in the opening 20 seconds of the first period of play. The shot by Michalski partially blocked on the way to the Caledonia net. So Hunter Johnson registering 7 saves on the year, a .469 goals against average and a .767 save percentage. So not a very high save percentage for Johnson. He'll be looking to improve upon that this evening. Jeff Malott winning the draw, back to the point to Nixon. Nixon looking for a shot and giving it back to Connor Murphy. Murphy back to the point to Nixon on the left side and back to Murphy. The shot going wide, hitting the end boards and picked up by Matt Quilty on the right side. Murphy down deep into the corner. Chris Harper wrestles him off the puck. Gourlay taking it at the side of the net before he hands it back to Malott. Gourlay down in the corner, far side. Malott now down past the end line, far boards. In behind the net to Connor Murphy, turning around in the near corner. Side of the net, the shot by Gourlay, and a big glove save by Johnson early in this contest. Starting in net for the Corvairs, 2 minutes and 28 seconds into the first period of this game. is Colin Furlong. He's won all 7 games for the Corvairs as the Corvairs win the draw inside the Niagara Falls zone and shuffle the puck off to the near corner. Ratchford back behind Furlong, waiting behind the net for Caledonia. The pass out to the near side to Abraham beside the Caledonia bench. Back to the point to Ratchford, down the half wall, Gourlay, the hard slap shot, and Johnson coming up with a glove save off to his right to keep this game scoreless. 2 minutes and 3 seconds into the first period of play. Murphy winning the draw back to the right. The shot by Nixon and a big pad save on the near side by Johnson. Nixon moving into the slot. Looks for Marlott. His shot taken away by Dunn as Dunn moves through the neutral zone, heading the other way for the Canucks. Gourlay now back inside his own zone to Nixon. Nixon pinned up against the wall far side by Manella. Murphy coming away with it beside his own blue line. The short pass up to Jake Brown, and his shot hitting the defender Leffler and moving out of play. So the Corvairs winning 1-0 last night in Port Colborne. Their 3rd win against Port Colborne on the season. The goal by Spencer Gourlay with just 1 minute to go in the game. The only goal of the contest for the Corvairs as the Corvairs win the draw, and the shot by Abraham deflects off Curran into the near corner. Fontana down the boards to Quilty. The shot by Ratchford hit something in front and went over the net high to the far side. Fontana down the half wall, has it taken away by Curran. Curran throwing it all the way down into the Caledonia zone, and Furlong leaving the puck for Todd Ratchford. Quilty, the pass through the neutral zone to Fontana, the snapshot, and covering up is Johnson in the midsection. 4 minutes and 27 seconds into the first period of play. Still no score between the Niagara Falls Canucks and the Caledonia Corvairs. Draw from the left circle taken by Connor Murphy. He wins the draw, drops it to Nixon, looks for Connor Murphy wide open on the far side, but his slap shot wide of the net by a couple inches, hitting the end boards coming out the near side, and a whistle on the play. Face-off, same spot to be taken once again by Connor Murphy opposite Gallardi. Murphy winning the draw, hands it to Gourlay. Gourlay back to the point for Nixon. Nixon, his shot going off the skate of Corinne, gets it back, hands it over to Gourlay on the left side and down into the corner to Murphy, who hands it back to Nixon, his shot, and they score! Tyler Nixon with the game's opening goal off the pass from Connor Murphy. The referee signaling a penalty. Torrey McLean with a few words for the ref after the opening goal by Kyler Nixon, and he'll go sit in the box, slamming the door shut in frustration, and Caledonia to their first power play after the opening goal by Kyler Nixon. Murphy winning the draw. throwing it ahead immediately after the face-off down the boards on the right side, looking for Todd Ratchford. The puck going awry in the near corner, and Caledonia back in their own zone to continue on their first power play. Gorley over to the right side, half wall for Quilty, back to the point to Murphy, back to Quilty, moving outside the right circle, hands it back to Nixon, back to Quinty. Nixon top of the blue line, the backhand pass for Connor Murphy. Murphy back to Nixon, and Nixon knocked off the puck by McIntosh. Throwing in to the Caledonia zone. Giannico throws it in from the neutral zone far side as Malot's shot goes high off the defender. Leffler off into the corner and out of play. Caledonia still on the power play for another 58 seconds. Niagara Falls at 81.58% on the penalty kill as the Corvairs win the draw and hand it back to Abraham on the left side. His shot hitting the end board on the far side of the Niagara Falls zone. Abraham back in his own zone for Ratchford. The pass up hits Manella and shot back in by Billy Saxton. Abraham now back behind his own net, under 30 seconds to go in the first Caledonia power play. And the lead pass for Ratchford, cross ice. Ratchford nowhere near that pass. The play going for icing and a face-off deep inside Caledonia territory. Brown to take the draw. Brown winning the draw, dropping it back for Ratchford. Abraham now walking over the left side of his own blue line. Tries to move through the center area before it's knocked off his stick. Niagara Falls heading the other way. The lead pass by Nolan Dunn. Ratchford knocked down at the center ice red line. Morin and Brown battling for possession of the puck in behind the Niagara Falls net before it goes back to Lucas Zitmanich in the neutral zone beside the Caledonia blue line. The shot by the Niagara Falls forward Spencer Leanders out of play out the near side, and a face-off beside the Caledonia bench. 6:28 into the first period of play. Caledonia up 1-0 on a Kyler Nixon goal. Zitmanis takes his man into the boards far side, and the shot off the left side or the right side by Scarinzi partially blocked. Caledonia now back in Niagara Falls territory. The flip pass by Kamenya ending up out of play as both teams change lines. And a mix-up by the Niagara Falls bench as head referee Lawson explaining something to the Canucks. Quilty winning the draw, but the whistle going immediately. The referee's not happy with the face-off. Quilty beside the Niagara Falls blue line wins the draw back inside his own zone, gives it to Zitmanis. The lead pass looking for Quilty. Muir picks it up instead, tries to pass back to Quilty in the slot. Quilty now in behind the net, looking for the disc out the near side. Matt Thorpe losing the puck, or taking the puck rather, through the neutral zone, and the shot off the shoulder of Furlong. Niagara Falls now to their first power play as Caledonia heads to the box. Niagara Falls at 20% on the year on the power play as Brown tries to win the draw, but he's wrestled off the puck by Vito Scaringi. Scaringi now, top of the blue line, gives it to Michalski, and his shot hitting the midsection of Furlong, going into the near corner. Left side, down at the end line, is Johnny Curran. Curran gives it back to Scaringi, back to Gallardi on the blue line, and his shot tipped in front at the far side by Scaringi and going out of play over the glass on the near corner. Caledonia at 90.16% on the penalty kill. Face-off beside the Caledonia blue line, far side. Niagara Falls winning the draw. The pass by Michalski down to Scaringi on the far side half wall. Back to the point, left side, Michalski down in the near corner. Radford ties up his man on the near side. Radford taking the puck, and a bouncing shot handled by Johnson, leaving the puck for the defender. Gallardi out the far side. McLean looking for the puck in behind the Caledonia net. Furlong taking it away, throwing it up the far sideboard. Farquharson, the shot down the half wall. Saxton turning around, giving it back to Farquharson. The shot hitting the stick of Todd Radford and going into the far corner. Farquharson, the fake shot, hands it down the half wall. The shot by Farquharson off the return pass from Giannico, handled in the midsection by Colin Furlong. 11 seconds to go in the first Caledonia penalty to Cosimo Fontana. Face-off from the right circle, Caledonia zone. Gallardi to take the draw with Colvanet off on his right wing. Gallardi winning the draw, but Brooker Muir throwing it out, and Johnson leaving it for Leffler behind his own net. Leffler beside his bench now. Quilty trying for a forecheck. So the puck is thrown to Chris Harper on the far side. He's forechecked by Fontana, so he drops it back to the defender. Colvanet now, the leading scorer for the Canucks with 5 points in 11 games. Moving up through the neutral zone near side. The centering pass for Gallardi has it taken away momentarily. Thorpe on the near corner looking for it, but it's picked up by Zitmanis and moved through the neutral zone. The shot by Fontana hitting the end glass far side. Fontana picking it up once again, flipping it to Muir behind the Niagara Falls bench. Nixon behind the net, the centering pass from Quilty on the stick of Fontana. Back to Tavares, but his pass is intercepted, and here comes right down the near side by the Caledonia bench, heading the other way for the Canucks. Jeff Malott takes it away for the Corvairs through the neutral zone. The centering pass, the shot by Murphy, wide far side, hitting the end board. Nixon pounces on the rebound, his shot off the right side. Kyler Nixon looking for his second goal of the game and the Corvairs' second goal. Johnson covering up nicely to keep the deficit for the Canucks at 1 as Connor Murphy takes the draw from the right circle. Murphy winning the draw, but he loses it to Scaringi. McIntosh throwing it down the board near side for the Canucks now. Keeping it in at the near side is Matt Thorpe. Johnny Curran skating through the neutral zone, gives it to McIntosh, but McIntosh offside on the play as JC Traverse and Vito Scaringi exchange slashes down on the near side corner. Scaringi to go to the box for 2 minutes on that play. Under 10 minutes to go now, first period of play. Tonight's game brought to you by ARC Pro HD. Visit us online at arcprohd.com for a full list of video services as Caledonia wins the draw from the right circle. The shot by Quilty hitting Leffler and moving off into the far corner before the whistle goes. Face-off from the same spot, right circle, Connor Murphy to take the draw, opposite Giannico. Murphy thrown out of the draw, so Gourlay comes in off the right wing to take the draw instead. Wins it, gives it back to Quilty on the right side of the blue line, down the half wall. Murphy down past the end line to Gourlay. Gourlay turning around and has it taken away. A possible 2-on-1 shaping up for the Canucks as the shot by Saxton hitting the right pad. Murphy now receiving the pass through the neutral zone. The play still alive and the shot by Nixon right side. A Niagara Falls defender crashing into Johnson. Johnson completely upended. Murphy with the head of steam through the neutral zone, cut around the corner near side. In a last-ditch effort to get back, the Niagara Falls defender crashed into Johnson. Cody Leffler to the box for the Canucks, and a two-man advantage coming up here for the Corvairs as Connor Murphy takes the draw from the left circle. Murphy throwing out of the draw. Matt Quilty takes it instead, wins the draw, gives it to Brooker Muir back to Nixon, top of the blue line. Nixon, the pass back, the hard slap shot, and Johnson scrambling at the side of the net near side, trying to pick up the puck. Quilty far corner, Langen picks it up instead, rings it around the boards near side, and Nixon back inside his own blue line to pick up the disc for the Corvairs. Vinay looking to swat the puck away through the neutral zone for the Canucks. The Canucks 2 men short as Malott throws a snapshot on net from above the right circle. Quilty now back to Nixon by the center ice red line. Quilty moving over the right side, moves past the defender. Nixon, a nice move around Cole Vinay, and his shot off the midsection far side of Johnson. The Canucks able to kill the first of the two-man disadvantage. A face-off here in the Caledonia zone. McIntosh opposite Mitch Brown. McIntosh throwing out of the draw. Nolan Dunn to take the draw for the Canucks instead. Brown winning the draw, giving it to Abraham behind the net, up the near side board to Todd Radford, and his cross ice pass evading the stick of Cosimo Fontana. So Radford picks it up at the red line and flips a backhand pass deep into the Niagara Falls zone. Fontana, half wall far side, hands it over to Brown. Brown turning around, looking for some room. Checked off the puck by Michalski. McIntosh now in there battling for the puck with Spencer Gourlay. Niagara Falls with a loss last night, defeating the Ancaster Avalanche a week ago Friday, as they win the draw inside their own zone. The two-man disadvantage now over for the Canucks. Johnny Curran trying to move around the Caledonia defender, Morin. A collision down behind the Caledonia net. Both players down. Mitch Brown right back to the attack for the Corvairs. His shot hitting Harper in front, going out the far side. Play now up beside the near side board. Curran moving around the defender once again, gets it around Zitmanis, but his shot going wide to the far side. Brown tying up his man far side. Harper still battling for the puck. Chris Harper with two good scoring chances. Was able to move around the defender twice within the last 30 seconds. Shot in far side by the Canucks. Leanders at the far half wall, goes behind the net to Matthew Manella, and Kamenya tying him up there on the far board. Corvairs trying to dump his man. Right, able to wrap it around. The puck going all the way back through the neutral zone. Shot back in by Matthew Manella before he goes off on a line change. Inside 5 minutes to play, first period. Caledonia up 1-0 on a Kyler Nixon goal from the left side of the blue line off the assist from Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy up to number 2 going into tonight, second in the league in scoring, with 17 points in 7 games. Murphy drawing the only assist last night in Caledonia's 1-0 win in Port Colborne. And Colin Furlong registering his first shutout on the year for Caledonia. Scott Dorian through the neutral zone, flips it past Michalski defending on the play, and Dorian going after his own pass down the near side board. Dorian falling down, play at the end line far side. The pass up, Quilty intercepts and goes in 1-on-3 because Caledonia was changing lines. Michalski back behind his own net. Michalski moves out the left side, and his pass going for icing. Not a wise pass by Michalski. Sat behind the net for a good 20-30 seconds. Had plenty of time to set up that pass, but it goes all the way down into the Caledonia zone for a face-off from the right circle. Caledonia winning the draw. Abraham batting it down with a high stick from the left side of the blue line. McIntosh to take the draw beside his own blue line. He wins it, goes up the left wing for Dunn, flipped in by Sean Farquharson. Abraham run up against the boards by McIntosh near side. Caledonia coming up with the disc. Radford skating hard over the left side of the line. Muir the pass for Quilty. Quilty gloving it down, and his backhand shot going wide of the net, far side. Fontana tied up in the corner, so he passes in behind the net for Quilty. Muir moving down the half wall, in behind the net now, and his quick pass out to the left to Fontana. Fontana's shot below the left circle. And Hunter Johnson having to be alert, coming up with the quick save, the puck right along the ice. Connor Murphy taking the draw for the Corvairs left circle. Loses the draw to Gallardi, the play around the far side boards. The pass by Morin. Murphy trying to move through the center slot, but both his wingers offside on the play. Under 2 to go now, first period of play. The Corvairs with a narrow 1-0 lead on the Kyler Nixon goal face-off beside the Niagara Falls blue line. Gallardi winning the draw, his pass picked off by Morin and shot back in by Zitmanis from the right side of the blue line. Murphy at the end line, the turnaround pass. Gourlay missing the pass, so he picks it up side of the net, near side, flips it back for Murphy. Murphy pinned up against the wall by Curran, back to the point. The shot by Zitmanis hits the skate of Marlott, so Marlott heads off into the corner, far side, to try to grab the disc for the Corvairs. The flip pass from Leffler, picked off by Zitmanis. Tripped up is Zitmanis by Colvanet, so Colvanet will head off to the box. And the Corvairs to their fourth power play of this first period. Two simultaneous penalties on the previous double minor to the Canucks. The Corvairs to a one-man advantage here. Briar Jonathan far side goes to Matt Quilty. Quilty hands it to Nixon, and the pass back beyond the right circle for Jonathan. Point to Quilty down the sidewall. Brown in past the end line. Jonathan moving around far side, goes back to the half wall over to Brown. Brown waiting for a pass, goes to Quilty, top of the blue line. Quilty mishandles it, has to dig it out of his skate, gives it back to Brown. Jonathan past the end line, and the pass out to Nixon. Nixon fanning on the hard slap shot as he was checked by Matthew Manella, and back in his own zone to pick it up for the Corvairs is Quilty. The pass from Brown and the shot by Jonathan wide of the net, near side. Brown turning around near circle. Harper intercepts, turns around, throws the puck around the boards, ending out the near side. The buzzer goes. The only scoring in the first period, the 1-0 goal by Kyler Nixon, assisted by Connor Murphy at 3:58 of the first. And at the end of one period of play, it's the Caledonia Corvairs 1 and the Niagara Falls Canucks no score. Corvairs back on the ice to start the second period of play. The Corvairs ahead 1-0 on the Kyler Nixon first period goal at 3:58. A lot of games tonight on the out-of-town scoreboard. The St. Catharines Falcons already victorious on this Saturday, coming away with a 5-2 win over the Buffalo Regals. So the Falcons now tied with the Corvairs for the top spot in the Golden Horseshoe Conference. But on the basis of wins, Caledonia still in first, undefeated, 7-0 going into tonight. Let's see if they can continue that success, looking to extend to 8 here tonight. Also on the out-of-town scoreboard, Listowel and Brantford tied at 0. The 99ers getting blown out last night in Listowel, 8-1. The Kitchener Dutchmen and the Guelph Hurricanes tied at 1. Ancaster ahead of Port Colborne 2-1 as Caledonia wins the opening draw down the right side for Fontana, moving in the Niagara Falls zone. Nixon down the half wall to Connor Murphy from the right circle, knocked off the puck. Gourlay picking it up, falls down. So Spencer Gourlay doing a nice job battling two players in front of the net for possession of the puck. McIntosh with it now, throws it out of the zone for the Canucks. Quilty, the lead pass for Connor Murphy, right side, trying to move around Harper. Harper pinning him up against the boards. Fontana going back to the left side of the blue line. Nixon down to Fontana past the top of the left circle. His shot wide of the net. Spencer Gourlay crashing into the goaltender, Hunter Johnson. The net off its moorings. Gourlay apparently heading to the box, throwing his arms up in the air in frustration. So Niagara Falls to their first power play of this second period. Gourlay to the box, 2 minutes for goaltender interference. Face-off deep in the Caledonia zone. Vito Scaringi to take the draw for the Canucks. Brown wins it, but he can't get it past Cole Venet on the left side. Venet moves into the slot. His shot wide off to the near side. Venet, top of the blue line, down to the right to Michalski. Michalski goes to the half wall, given back to Michalski. His shot hitting the skate of Gallardi. The rebound in the crease. Scaringi trying to get a stick on it. Over the right side of the blue line is Michalski. Scaringi down into the corner to Gallardi. Gallardi back for Scaringi. He leaves it. Cole Venet picking it up on the far side. Knocked away by Jonathan. The lead pass for Brown, moving around the defender. Gallardi runs him over, but Brown able to fall off to the far corner. Niagara Falls back into the Caledonia zone to continue the power play before it's picked up by Abraham. Throwing deep, intercepted by Muir. The goaltender, Hunter Johnson, a bad clearing pass. Brooker Muir from the far side, almost throwing it in. Down the left far side. Johnson having a hard time skating backwards into his crease, but managed to get enough of it to keep Muir from getting that second Caledonia goal. Sean Farquharson throwing it out of his own zone. The puck going all the way down the ice. 13 seconds left to go in the penalty to Spencer Gourlay. Murphy to take the draw from the left circle. Opposite Curran, Johnny Curran passing it back to the defender. Langen back behind his own net. Skates out the far side. It hits the skate of Nolan Dunn. Dunn now grabbing possession deep in Caledonia territory on the near side beyond the end line. Connor Murphy looking to move around Langen now as he goes deep into the Niagara Falls zone. Dunn back the other way, flips it around Ratchford. Abraham back behind his own net to pick it up. He's cut off by Austin Wright. Wright tied up behind the net with the stick of Abraham. Wright gets it back over to the left side of the blue line. The shot by Sharp hits Leanders in the back and goes into the corner behind the Caledonia net. Michalski now by the red line backs up to avoid the forecheck of Malott. Wright checks Ratchford far side up by the red line. Manella avoids the hit of Todd Ratchford. Leanders and Nolan Dunn battling for possession at the far end line. Abraham grabbing it instead, flipping it high off the glass. And the whistle goes as the puck goes into the Niagara Falls end for an icing out the near side. Also on the out-of-town scoreboard, as Farquharson's backhand pass from McLean picked off, so Sean Farquharson picks it up from the red line, flipping it in far side, taken away by Ratchford. Cambridge ahead of the Stratford Culletons 3-1 in the first period at Galt Arena, and the Brampton Bombers with a 2-1 lead over the Waterloo Siskins. After one, the Bombers looking for only their second win on the year as Giannico moves around Fontana and chases after his own pass in behind the Caledonia net. The shot by McLean kicked aside by the right pad of Colin Furlong. Johnny Curran to take the draw. Opposite Cosimo Fontana, or Brett Dykstra, excuse me. Dykstra throwing out of the draw, leaves the draw for Kamenia. Kamenia wins it and passes back to the defender, Tavares. Dorian far side down into the corner. Dykstra checks his man. The centering pass by Nixon. It hits the goalpost near side and goes out of play into the netting. Kyler Nixon within 2 inches there of his second goal. Johnson no chance on the play. The quick pass out to Kyler Nixon on the left side of the blue line. Nixon's quick snapshot ringing off the bar. And Caledonia still with a narrow 1-0 lead as we approach the midway point of this contest. 14:21 to go, second period of play. Nixon with the only goal of this game off the assist by Connor Murphy at 3:58 of the first period. Gallardi to take the draw beside the Caledonia blue line. Kamenia winning the draw, passing down the left to Kamenia, or Dorian, excuse me. Nixon behind his own net. The pass out near side to Dykstra, picked off by Dunn. Dunn throws it beyond the end line near side, back to Michalski, right side of the blue line, and a penalty coming up for the Corvairs. as Kamenya able to touch it up beyond the end line. Steve Kamenya to the box. Didn't see a signal on the play. Not much of a hand signal from the referee. I can't quite make out what he was doing there. Some kind of a signal to the head, a head check perhaps from Steve Kamenya. Face off, right circle, Caledonia zone. Some confusion here as Niagara Falls tries to make a last-second line change. The referee allows it, so we'll take the draw from the right circle. Dunn winning the draw off to the far side. Michalski in behind the net. McLean looking for Ghilardi, but Ghilardi can't handle the pass at the left side of the blue line. Briar Jonathan doing a nice job of forechecking for the Corvairs inside the first 20 seconds of the Caledonia man disadvantage. Johnson leaving it for Ghilardi. 1:30 remaining on the penalty to Kamenya. The pass through neutral ice, missed by McLean and thrown right back out by Zitmanis. Ghilardi with it far side, banks the puck off the boards into the neutral zone and thrown back in by the Corvairs' Ryan Morin. Face off beside the Niagara Falls blue line far side. Connor Murphy winning the draw, and he goes for a hard shot right off the draw. The puck ending up in the near corner, and Niagara Falls back to the attack as they move through the neutral zone. Scaringi turns around, back to the right side of the blue line for Longen. Longen back for Sean Farquharson. Farquharson avoiding the forecheck, goes up the boards, far side for McIntosh, picked off by Jake Brown, moving over the left side of the Canuck blue line. Murphy through neutral ice, hands it back to the defender, Abraham, looking to kill some more time as Radford takes it, throws it down the near side board. Radford the slapper in, left aside by Johnson for Farquharson. Farquharson the pass up right side, and Vinay jumping the check of Justin Abraham. The penalty now over to Kamenya. Abraham back to the ice. Perhaps the player jumped on too fast out of the box. Or perhaps a penalty on that jump hit on Cole Vinay on the far side. Giannico wins the draw, the high pass back to the defender right side, goes way over his head. So Abraham off for holding. The Canucks looking to tie this game. The only meeting between the Corvairs and the Canucks this year, won 6-1 by the Corvairs on opening night back in the first week of September. Ghilardi chips it back in. Giannico behind the net, moving half wall over to Michalski. His shot hits traffic in front of the net. McLean comes up with it. Michalski, his shot wide of the net, hitting the end board near side. Michalski stood up, moving in off the left side of the blue line. Fontana able to get the puck out, but he gives Michalski a shot to the face in the process. He'll go to the box, and the Canucks to a two-man advantage for 54 seconds, courtesy of that shot to the head by Fontana on Michalski. A shove to the face by Cosimo Fontana. "40 seconds to the halfway point of this game. Mitch Brown to take the draw from the left circle, Niagara Falls territory. Farquharson with it behind his own net, looking for Johnny Curran up at the far side. Curran gets it back. The pass to Scaringi off the left side of the blue line. Brown driving at the top of the blue line, trying to get the puck out, and it's slapped away by Zitmanis.
2 minutes for slapping.
Under 20 seconds to go in the initial penalty to Abraham. Farquharson skating through the neutral zone. Stood up by Morin and flipped back out by Zitmanis. Long and back for the Canucks to touch up for Niagara Falls. Long and out the far side, his pass up to Wright. Wright stood up by Gourlay. Back to the point to Vinay. Sidewall, Vinay moved in off the right point. The puck now back beside the center ice red line. Longen flips it past Gourlay through neutral ice, hits Nixon, and back the other way through the neutral zone. Possession changing hands rapidly. Connor Murphy speeding down, cutting through the slot over to the near side. Marlott with it now, down in past the end line to Gourlay. The turnaround slapper by Murphy, hitting the glove, and a nice save by Johnson. Murphy now with an elbow to right in behind the Caledonia bench. Perhaps Murphy to go to the box after that nice scoring chance above the left dot in Niagara Falls territory. Face-off to take place beside the Caledonia blue line. Morin stands up his man through neutral ice at the red line, and the backhand shot by Quilty kicked aside by Johnson into the near corner. So apparently no penalty to Connor Murphy on that previous play. An interference call here through the neutral zone. Spencer Leanders to the box for 2 minutes. Murphy winning the draw off to the left wing to Fontana, back to the point, play now on the sidewall. Gourlay back to the top of the point for Quilty. His shot, rebound in front. 2 Corvairs there, now 3 on the near side. Fontana looking for it. Connor Murphy looking for the puck. And Spencer Gourlay before it's swatted away by Chris Harper. Caledonia right back to the attack. Murphy falling down top of the blue line, possible 2-on-1 for the Canucks. McIntosh losing the puck, but managed to get a backhand pass away to Giannico. Giannico, a weak shot to the far side, and Caledonia back into Niagara Falls territory. Brown in behind the Canuck net. Muir looking for it. Brown comes away with it back to the left side to Nixon. Back to Brown beside the half wall. Nixon fakes a shot down to Quilty on the right wing. Quilty with it now. Near corner back to the blue line. The hard slapper by Nixon. The shot by Quilty, the turnaround. Nixon again top of the blue line. Down the sidewall to Ratchford. In the crease, Johnson sprawling. Doesn't know where it is. Feet flying everywhere. Reminiscent of Dominic Hasek back in the 90s. Johnson finally coming up with the puck on the far side, but had no idea where it was as he had his back to the play. Feet out at the far post. Got enough of the puck to keep it out with 23 seconds to go on the penalty to Spencer Leanders. Gallardi winning the draw, dropping it for Michalski on the near side. Michalski throws it off the glass and down the ice into the Caledonia zone. Abraham to pick it up for the Corvairs. The pass down the right wing to Jake Brown. Brown looking for Muir in the corner. Muir now in behind the net. Skates out the far side. Picked up by Leanders going out of the box. Gallardi falling down. The rebound, McLean's side of the net. So Leanders doing a nice job creating scoring chances. McLean with the shot off the far side, off the turnover, and Leanders again. His shot along the ice off the pad, the right pad of Furlong. Brown through neutral ice. So Spencer Leanders jumping out of the penalty box, creating a couple big chances for the Canucks. Leanders with something to prove after disliking the previous 2-minute interference call. Brown to take the draw beside his own blue line. Curran wins it, passes down the boards on the right side for Vinay. Brown now off the turnover in the neutral zone, speeds in through neutral ice. Play end to end now as Vinay races in on goal. The rebound, Morin runs over his man, and a big scrap now in front of the net. Zitmanis battling with Vinay far side. Curran also in there. So Ryan Morin running his man over inside the right circle, so it looks like he may go to the box. No, he's heading out the exit, so perhaps the night done for Ryan Morin. Several players aside in on that scrap as Gallardi and Mitch Brown discuss the situation with the referee over on the far side by the penalty box. Face off beside the Caledonia blue line. Brown losing the draw to Curran. The centering pass for Gallardi mishandled. So back to pick it up is Michalski for the Canucks. Gallardi, the flip pass through the neutral zone, picked off by Brown and hammered in down the near side. Michalski avoiding Brown, passing back for Gallardi. The lead pass for Scaringi. Scaringi turns around now at the half wall inside Caledonia territory. Vinay above the right circle, and the shot by Curran high over the net to the near corner. Scaringi moves down low for a hit on J.C. Travers. Gallardi back in the neutral zone to pick up the disc for the Canucks. Gallardi off the pass from Michalski. His wrister kicked aside by Furlong off the left pad. Scaringi back to pick it up for the Canucks. Connor Murphy gets just enough of them to force a turnover. Gourlay was looking for a shot down off the right side, but Farquharson now with the puck through the neutral zone. Farquharson turns it over, and now Gourlay moving around him, the centering pass off the pass from the near side. Abraham moving down past the circle off the left side of the blue line. Vinay hit by Radford. McIntosh, the centering pass to Giannico. Vinay, the quick wrist shot, and a big save by Furlong off his right shoulder. End to end now as Caledonia goes the other way. Gourlay moving around the defender, Chris Harper. Inside 3 minutes to play, second period of play. Very little scoring in tonight's game. A little reminiscent of last night's 1-0 score in Port Colborne. The Corvairs winning 1-0 last night in the final minute on a goal by Spencer Gourlay. Tonight's only goal by Kyler Nixon as Lucas Zitmonich back to pick it up for Caledonia on the far side. Zitmonich with the disc now inside his own line, skates out the near side. Can't find a strategy to leave the zone, so he leaves it for Kyler Nixon in behind his own net. The pass up for Fontana, mishandled. Nixon down the far wall, the cross-ice feed for Zitmonich. Shot back in off the glass, a bouncer wide of the net. The puck moving out the far side. Fontana drops it for Muir. Muir tied up. The shot by Nixon hitting the end board far side. Zitmonich over to Nixon, cross-ice feed, Quilty open side of the net. The shot hitting the defender Longen. Nixon skating around to the right side of the blue line, off the half wall, taking his time and backhanded out by Matthew Manella. Nixon, the pass for Zitmonich. Zitmonich throws it in. Marlott giving chase, hammered out of the zone by Cole Langen. Murphy over the left side, stops at the circle, turns around down the half wall to Quilty. Quilty in behind the net, looking for Gourlay. Gourlay's pass side of the net for Quilty, mishandled and dumped out by Wright. Centering pass taken away by Murphy. 2-on-2 developing if he can move around the defender. Marlott down deep near side to try and pick it up. A battle for the loose puck now beside the Caledonia bench as the whistle goes. Under a minute to play, second period. No scoring in this second frame. the only goal of the contest by Kyler Nixon off the left side of the blue line on the pass by Connor Murphy at 3:58 of period 1. And as we approach the second intermission, it's the Caledonia Corvairs with a 1-0 lead on the Niagara Falls Canucks. Brown wins the draw pass for Briar Jonathan. Jonathan now tied up on the board's far side. The shot by Gallardi, the rebound, Scaringi, one shot, the turnaround, Scaringi still in there, turns around at the end line, tries to go back to Gallardi at the top of the point, but it's picked off by Briar Jonathan, mishandled by Johnson, but not enough time left. Brown trying to get a last-minute forecheck in there with under 3 seconds to go, first period of play, but the buzzer goes, and after no scoring in the second period, off the first period goal by Kyler Nixon at the end of 2 periods of play, it's the Caledonia Corvairs 1 and the Niagara Falls Canucks no score.
Hey, so you got it. Real traffic jam coming into town. We're lined up.
The Corvairs with a 1-0 lead as we approach the third period of play. Low scoring tonight, following suit with last night's game in Port Colborne. Last night's game also a 1-0 score. Colin Furlong registering the shutout. Let's see if he can get his second in a row here tonight. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the St. Catharines Falcons have already won this evening. They beat the Buffalo Regals 5-2, moving into a momentary first-place tie with the Corvairs, as Mitch Brown has discussion with the two head referees. Also in the GOJHL tonight, it's the Listowel Cyclones leading the Brantford 99ers 2-1 after thrashing them 8-1 last night. Cambridge leading Stratford 4-2. Most of these games are in the third period with the exception of Port Colborne and Ancaster. Port Colborne with a 4-3 lead over the Avalanche with 8:21 to go in the second, as Brown flips the puck in, bouncing the puck off the right pad of Johnson. Vinay out the far side, crossing the Caledonia blue line, and as Abraham is tripped up by McIntosh, Mitch McIntosh will head to the box for 2 minutes, and the Caledonia Corvairs go to their first third period power play. Also on the out-of-town board, it's the Kitchener Dutchmen and Guelph Hurricanes tied at 2, and the Brampton Bombers and Waterloo Siskins tied at 3. Again, all those games with the exception of the Ancaster-Port Colborne game now in the third period of play. Murphy turning around on the half board. Johnny Curran takes it away. Now moving out over the outside, or out over the right side of his own line, excuse me. And the pass by Connor Murphy picked off by Langan. The lead pass for Johnny Curran. Curran going off, and Caledonia regrouping in the neutral zone, playing 4-on-4. 11 seconds left on the penalty to Jeff Marlott. Giannico now moving over the right side of the Caledonia blue line, Corvairs in behind his own net, checked by Saxton. Saxton doesn't get enough of him, however, as he goes flying into the boards head first on the far side. Caledonia back to the attack. Quilty in behind the net, centering pass, and a quick shot by Fontana trickles off into the near corner. Giannico, the shot in from the red line. Furlong leaves it for Nixon. 25 seconds to go now in the penalty to McIntosh. The slap shot by Farquharson all the way down the boards around the near side. Furlong having to leave it for the defenders beyond his own net, or behind his own net, excuse me. Nixon, the pass down the right side to Fontana. Nixon behind his own net now, going up the near side board to Muir. Muir doesn't see the forechecker, and the forechecker, number 12, Torrey McLean, falls over top of him as Muir goes back deep into Niagara Falls territory down the far side by the end line. Thorpe jumps over top of Muir, takes possession of the puck, feeds it ahead to McLean, taken away by Abraham. The cross ice pass to Zitmanis. Zitmanis dumps it back in, far side. Scaringi forecheck by Briar Jonathan, knocked off the puck, and the turnaround shot by Mitch Brown goes wide of the net. Jonathan attempting a pass, but his pass is picked off. Dorian through neutral ice goes up the far side board to Jake Brown. Manella, the pass up to right through the neutral zone, picked off by Jonathan. Harper banks it off the board, far side. The puck now bouncing at the center ice red line. Manella back to the defender, Harper. Harper dumps it around the board, far side, picked off by Abraham. The pass up beside his own blue line, right side to Brown. Brown gets the pass back off the feed from Kamenya. Kamenya coming in from behind, and Dorian very upset over some infraction I didn't see in the neutral zone, and just destroys his opponent with right hands. Feeding the fist to Wright. Austin Wright not even getting a punch in. Dorian just destroying him in the neutral zone. With 15:39 to go, third period of play, the Corvairs on top, 1-0 on the Kyler Nixon first period goal at 3:58. Quilty and Gallardi await the decision at center ice. Dorian still sitting in the box for the Corvairs. Face off beside the Caledonia blue line. So apparently both players will just take 5-minute majors. No additional penalties on the play. So Dorian may remain in this game. No indication that he is through for the night. Here's the call now. Well, they were in fact given game misconduct, so perhaps another player sitting in the box for the Corvairs. I thought it was Scott Dorian as Mitch Brown's backhand shot goes wide into the far corner. The flip pass up to Vinay inside the Caledonia line. Avoids the check of Tavares. Vinay eventually turning it over. Malott through the neutral zone. The shot hitting the boards on the far side. Malott tripping up Thorpe, the defender. Throws it around the boards to Murphy, back to the point. The shot by Abraham ending up in the corner far side. Michalski flips it around the end board. Picked up beside the Niagara Falls bench by Vinay. Michalski, the long lead pass to McIntosh, picked off by Radford. Radford looking for Connor Murphy, moving in on the 2-on-2. Gourlay, the high flip pass through the neutral zone, avoiding the check of McIntosh. Michalski picking it up for the Canucks. His pass hitting the skate of Scaringi, and Fontana throwing it back deep in behind the Canucks net for the Corvairs. Michalski waiting in behind his own net. Comes out the far side, the pass to McIntosh. McIntosh dumping it down around the boards far side. Harper now retrieving the disc for the Canucks through the neutral zone. Radford losing possession. Giannico picks it off. Mirror the short back pass to Abraham. Abraham skating through neutral ice, and his shot off the left side of the blue line hit the end boards and went out the far side. Quilty, the centering pass. Quilty at the half wall, grabbed around the head by Chris Harper. Harper may go to the box. Quilty knocked off balance on that hand around the head by Harper, and Harper to the box as a result. 2:36 to the midway point of the third period. The Corvairs still with the narrowest of leads, the 1-0 lead on the first period. Kyler Nixon goal. Furlong leaving it for Nixon behind his own net. Nixon through his own zone, through the center of the two circles. Can't find a pass. Niagara Falls throws it out. Nixon back to recover the puck for the Corvairs, trying to move out past neutral ice once again. Gourlay into the corner. Murphy with it now. Gourlay and Murphy battling for the puck beside the end line near corner. Gourlay from the left circle over to Fontana, back to Nixon on the point. Far side, Fontana open, and they score! Cosimo Fontana off the cross ice feed. Fontana shooting to the far side below the left circle. High fives all around from the Caledonia bench, and Cosimo Fontana doubles the Caledonia lead to 4-2. Caledonia winning the draw, going back into their own zone to pick up the puck.
Caledonia Pro-Fit Corvairs goal scored by number 77, Cosmo.
Langen
Assist by number 14,
back inside his own zone, avoiding the forecheck of Briar Jonathan. So at 11:39, Cosimo Fontana doubling the lead. The pass rang all the way around the boards by Lucas Zitmonich beside the Caledonia bench. Jake Brown having to go deep into Niagara Falls territory. Not able to get it though. Vinay right back the other way for the Canucks. Vinay's pass back to the left side of the blue line, looking for McIntosh, deflecting off a Corvair and going out of play on the far side. Face off beside the Caledonia blue line, won by Johnny Curran, throwing back into Caledonia territory as Leffler takes a hard hit by the Caledonia bench from Stephen Kamenya. Dykstra tied up, Muir the pass out to Kamenya, skating hard through the neutral zone. Muir tries to pick it up at the far half wall. The defender Curran tries to flip the puck out, but it's picked off by Muir moving around the near side. McIntosh through the neutral zone. The up pass to Johnny Curran. Hits a Corvair, goes back to the left side of the blue line. And Brett Dykstra dumping it in for the Corvairs. Thorpe back for the Canucks before it's taken away by Muir. Past the end line, far side, fake shot by Traverse. The rebound, Malott in front. Jeff Malott looking for the JC Traverse rebound off the far side. Caledonia looking for their third goal, trying to put this game out of reach as we're now inside of 10 minutes, third period of play. Gourlay around the net, far side, and the hard slap shot by Nixon, hitting the end board and coming out the near corner. Murphy, the forecheck in behind the Niagara Falls net. Traverse the shot, the deflection. Gourlay looking for the backhand deflection, looking to put the puck in at the far corner. And a penalty coming up to Niagara Falls. And a broken stick inside the Niagara Falls zone. The Canucks unhappy with the call on the play, and a broken stick right directly beside their own bench as Connor Murphy takes the draw from the left circle. Saxton falling down on the play, so Murphy, or that was Scaringi, sorry, Murphy able to get it back to the point. Nixon, the hard slap shot, top of the blue line. Gourlay looking for a rebound, but he falls down in front of the net. Nixon on the left side now. Nixon moves out high beyond the two forecheckers, gives it back to Murphy down deep in the corner near side. Murphy checked off the puck for a minute, but he goes back to Nixon. Nixon feeds Matt Quilty, and the whistle goes. 8:04 to go, third period of play. Time running out on the Canucks as several fans down from Niagara Falls unhappy with the recent penalty calls. 1:24 left on the first call to Torrey McLean, and now it looks like another penalty coming up here to Billy Saxton. So the Canucks will go 2-man short. This certainly won't help their effort. The effort to break the Colin Furlong shutout. Furlong perfect over the last 2 nights. Niagara Falls taking their time to discuss strategy and come back from their line change. Murphy winning the draw over to Fontana on the left. Quilty back to Nixon. Nixon goes down the board to Fontana, back to Nixon. Fontana over the left circle, looking for a pass or a shot, hands it back to Nixon. Over far side to Quilty. Nixon, the fake shot to Quilty, finds Fontana in the left circle. Nixon, the shot deflects into the corner, far side, picked up by Connor Murphy. Nixon now at the right side of the blue line. Quilty moving between the circles, the shot, and a big glove save by Johnson at the far post to keep the Caledonia lead at 2. 7:26 to go, third period of play. Caledonia on the 2-man advantage for another 46 seconds. Murphy throwing out of the draw, Gourlay to take it instead, losing the draw to Johnny Curran. Harper taking the puck, drilling it out of the zone, and Nixon back to pick up the puck behind his own net for the Corvairs. Murphy through the red line, goes to the backhand, drops it to Quilty, feeds Nixon on the far side, the centering pass and the shot by Murphy. A nice block by Chris Harper on the play. Quilty skating over the right side, over to Nixon. Nixon looks, feeds Fontana down low, side of the net, near side. Fontana cramming away at it. And Johnson getting the pad down. The puck now in the near corner. Nixon ducks down low to keep it onside at the left point. Does a nice job of doing so. And the quick snapshot hit Manella in front and deflected high over the net far side. Quilty over to Nixon. Nixon looking for some room, hits Gourlay in the slot. Gourlay shot, and he scores! Spencer Gourlay from the left circle found some room to the right of the left circle off the feed from Kyler Nixon. So Kyler Nixon with his second point tonight for the Corvairs. The Corvairs now moving out to a 3-0 lead.
Caledonia Pro-Fit Corvairs goal scored by number 5.
And a face-off at center ice. If the Corvairs can play as well defensively as they have the rest of tonight, 3 goals should be enough. Tipped in from the red line, far side. Ratchford takes it away, passes over to Abraham, who flips it back into Niagara Falls territory. Face-off going all the way back into the Caledonia zone off the dump in from beside the Niagara Falls bench. Spencer Gourlay off the assist from Kyler Nixon. Gourlay finding room, created an opening for himself, found himself wide open beside the left face-off circle, fires in the Caledonia third goal to the far side. Caledonia tripling their lead as Mitch Brown passes back to the right side of the point. The pass for Jonathan in the slot, bouncing through the neutral zone, picked up by Abraham. 5 minutes to go now in the third period as Jake Brown throws it into the near corner and goes off on a line change. The lead pass for Saxton. Billy Saxton throwing it down the boards near side, but the whistle going. So the Corvairs, if they can win here tonight, will extend the Niagara Falls losing streak to 2. And the Canucks will drop back to 500 on the year at 3-3. The Corvairs, a possible 8-0 record if they can finish it out here tonight. Perfect at home, perfect on the road at 4-0, and they'll move 2 points ahead of the St. Catharines Falcons, who won earlier today against the Buffalo Regals. Zitmanis and Brooker Muir tie up on the near boards. Muir able to come away with it, but Zitmanis remains on that board far side, tied up as he falls into the corner, deep by the end line, far corner. Zitmanis to the box on the play. The call a bit of a mystery as both players, Garrett Gallardi and the Caledonia player, falling to the ice. Zitmanis, the first one to fall to the ice. Brown to take the draw from the right circle, Caledonia zone. Abraham through the neutral zone, picked off by Gallardi. Michalski behind his own net. I gotta say, I don't understand that call. Both men falling on the play. Zitmanis going off for roughing. Zitmanis, the first one of the 2 players to fall to the ice down on the far side, but Zitmanis sitting in the box for another 122 as Colin Furlong attempts to preserve his shutout here tonight. Caledonia at plus 32 on the year in goal differential, which is why they may go to 8-0 here tonight. Michalski on the right side, over to the left, down in the corner. Gallardi down low at the end line, far side. His slap shot low. Furlong getting a piece of that and dumped at the side of the net by Saxton. Is the Caledonia defender Kyler Nixon. Billy Saxton to the box for that infraction. Niagara Falls was on a 2-man advantage but the cross check to Saxon at the side of the net on Kyler Nixon, and Caledonia will move back to a one-man disadvantage with under 3 minutes to play. Niagara Falls even on the year now, giving up 3 goals tonight, giving up 22 goals for and against on the season, and back to 500 here possibly tonight at 3-3. Again, goal differential, solid goaltending, the keys for Caledonia, as they are a plus 39 on the year going into this 8th game of the year, or I should say following this 8th game of the year. Johnson down through neutral ice. Vinay through the neutral zone. His shot, the snapper from the left circle, handled off the right shoulder by Furlong. Johnson leaving it for Cole Langen. Langen's pass for Chris Harper. The pass down the right wing for McIntosh, now tied up on the near corner by Todd Ratchford. Backdoor Furlong, a big save off the left shoulder. Harper with the quick shot, and Furlong having to remain sharp, throwing out the left shoulder at the near post. Puck now tied up on the far side board as Cole Vinay and Todd Ratchford tie up on the far board beside the end line, or beyond the end line and just beyond the half wall. Ratchford and Vinay tied up on the far side. Captain Mitch Brown to take the draw opposite Matthew Manella. Brown winning the draw. Zitmanis backhanding it around the near side board. Leanders goes back to the point, the shot, and they score. Spencer Leanders picking up the rebound on the far side beyond the end line, or above the end line, I should say, going high to the near side over the shoulder of Furlong. And a disappointment for Furlong as he loses his shutout. Morin intercepts, moving over the Niagara line, and he scores! Ryan Morin picks off the pass, moves in over the left side of the Niagara Falls line, snaps a wrist shot 2 inches off the ice, inside the far post. The Corvairs go back to a 3-goal lead seconds after Spencer Leanders got the first Niagara Falls goal. The Corvairs back to a 3-goal margin with just over a minute to go, 3rd period of play.
Caledonia Pro-Fit Corvairs goal scored by number 10, Ryan Brenner. Assist to number 26, Mitch Brown, and number 17.
Brown over the blue line, picked off by Giannico. Giannico nailed beside his own bench by Briar Jonathan, as waiting in behind his own net as Cole Langen, 25 seconds to go. The teams exchanging words, Saxon having something to say to Morin. Morin with the 4th Caledonia goal. Morin moving over his own blue line, the pass for Brown, maybe one last rush. Brown taking a cross check across the back from Langen. Brown tied up, some pushing and shoving on the far side, and Caledonia just needing to walk away here. The Corvairs happy to skate away with a victory. Their 8th win of the year and trying to skate away from confrontation. Niagara Falls still chipping away, but Caledonia doing the smart thing and skating off to their own bench. The Corvairs skating back to their dressing room with victory on the night. A little bit of a disappointment for Colin Furlong as he loses the shutout with 1:13 to go on the first Niagara Falls goal above the end line, beating the Caledonia goalie to the near side post over the shoulder. So Cosimo Fontana scoring at 11:39 of the third. Spencer Gourlay getting the 3rd Caledonia goal. Niagara Falls responding with 1:13 to go to take away the Caledonia shutout, but Ryan Morin with the takeaway off the long pass by the Niagara Falls defender. Morin snapping a wrist shot inside the post, far side, to end it for the Corvairs. The Corvairs skating away with a 4-1 victory here tonight. Their 4th home victory on the year, remaining undefeated at home and on the road, and moving to 8-0 on the season. For the Caledonia Corvairs Hockey Club, I'm John Molson. Tonight's final score, once again, the Caledonia Corvairs 4 and the Niagara Falls Canucks 1. Join us 1 week from tonight for our next home game. That's 7:30 versus the Welland Junior Canadians here at the HCCC. Good night.